Welcome back to Buckeye Pinball. And what's going on, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to show you with my Stern Aerosmith cabinet how to fix a split issue. Over here on the side, my cabinet has decided to split. You can see right here by the flipper button, this corner right in here is all split apart. And apparently it's not super common, but there is a handful of machines out there that are having these issues. Other people have had the issue. If you haven't taken it to a distributor to get it fixed, and you're going to fix this yourself, then this is the video for you. Okay, so what do we need? We need a strap. This is part of the strap, like a ratchet strap for a car trailer or something smaller, but basically a strap that you can put all the way around the cabinet, all the way around all the sides. Because the idea is you're going to strap that down, tighten the strap, and that strap is going to pull these corners back together, and you're going to apply wood glue in here, and it's going to seal the wood glue, set it, and reseal the cabinet, hopefully fixing your problem. You can even go as far as to put a bracket on the inside of the corners, bolted in like a cabinet bracket, so that it can't pull itself apart again. When I was given the instructions on how to fix this, they didn't tell me to add that, but a lot of people that have dealt with this have put brackets on it. Since this game is going to be leaving me, I may or may not put the bracket on, but I'm at least going to get this cabinet resealed for the time being. To do that, like I said, we need the strap, and you also need to take the legs off if the corner is like my corner, where you're dealing with the start button and the flipper button, stuff in the way. If it was on the back side corner, it may not be so bad. You may not have to take the legs off, you might have more space to work with. But we're also going to need these wood blocks. These wood blocks are basically going to go against the cabinet here and on the other side in the same area. This is so that the strap goes over top of those two blocks and presses against the blocks, pressing the cabinet together. See what I'm saying? If the corner of the strap rests against this, which it would do if I didn't put the blocks there, because it would just lay flat against this and then hit the corner and lay flat here. It would press in and against this corner, not sealing the corner. If anything, it would be trying to push it away, and it wouldn't seal and allow the glue to cure and put it back to its original condition. We want to fix the cabinet, so we definitely need the blocks. And of course you need a 5/8 wrench or something to take your legs off with, because of the bolt size for the legs, leg bolts, And you need the wood glue, of course. So that's going to go into your seam before you tighten it down. And also, let's see, am I missing anything? Oh yes, you need parchment paper handy, just in case any part of your strap would be resting anywhere close to where the glue is at. You don't want anything to stick to the cabinet or the glue to fuse to anything, because then you have to pull something apart and that could destroy your artwork or whatever. So the best thing to do is just have it on hand. That way, if there's for some reason any part of your strap that would be touching any area or close to the area, that glue would squeeze out of the seam and possibly fuse to the strap. And just to prevent problems, you want a piece of parchment paper to press against the seam if there's any part of the strap that's going to be touching it at all. Shouldn't have that issue just because of what we're doing with the blocks, but that's just an added security if necessary. Each person's project ends up a little different sometimes, so there you go. You got parchment paper, you've got your strap, you've got your wood glue, you've got your blocks, you've got your pinball cart lifting the pinball machine up so you can get your legs off. You're probably going to have to take the lockdown bar off, the glass off, and lift the play field up so that you can get glue into that corner from the back side as well, because the seam is very close together. It's going to be hard to get the glue to go all the way into that from one side, so I may have to glaze this edge line and the one on the inside of the machine to make sure that I get glue fused all the way into that before I tighten it down. So that is what we're doing in this video. I'm going to pause this, I'm going to come back to it, and then I will show you what it looks like with the straps and the blocks on it, and the process just before I crank her down. All right. Okay folks, so here we are. As you can see, I got the car strap all the way around the pinball machine. Now you can see kind of how it's strapped. Now what I did over here was I put a block there and a block there, and I wood glued the seam, and you can, let me get in some light here. You can see, I mean you can still see the wood edge, but you can see how it's seized back together. You can see that little bit of white in there. Hard to see, but that's the glue that's squeezing out of the seam. I know it looks a little bit rough, but it is what it is. And you can see here that this moves freely on the corner. So the strap isn't actually touching the corner, which is allowing those two blocks to press the corners together more tightly in hopes to seal this. Inside the cabinet, I know you can't see very well, but down in there you can see a little bit of a white line. There's glue there, and there's glue across that seam, but I've went ahead and wiped down the pinball machine so the glue was, you know, not stuck to anything. Hopefully, in a matter of hours, this will dry and seal this corner back together. If this fails, or there are other areas like down at the bottom there, you can see a little bit of a wood line, I may have to fix the top and then immediately drag this down and seal that bottom edge too. So I'm not sure yet, but you can see that it's as simple as a strap, wood glue, some blocks, taking the legs off, opening up the cabinet, you know, so that you can get down into the crease and glue both sides of the corners, or both, you know, both sides of the corners. Anyways, it may take two people to help hold that strap together. Or you can do what I did and just kind of tighten the strap around it and then move it up where you need it and loosen it up just a tad bit to wedge the blocks in there and then tighten it back down. But like I said, because you're wrapping a loose strap all the way around the cabinet, it might be easier to have two people. One person to kind of hold it around there tight while you get it hooked up and strapped, tightened down, you know. But that's pretty much it, man. That is pretty much it. Wood glue those corners. You know, you do that before you put the strap on because you want the glue to get into the creases, and then once you tighten it down, it'll squeeze the excess glue out of it, and you just wipe that off the corners. The reason you see little rags behind these blocks is I didn't want to put anything rough against the cabinet so that when I crank this puppy down, you know, I would potentially scratch the artwork or anything. I didn't want to scrape or scuff anything, so that's why I put protective padding underneath the blocks. And I did the same thing over here where the crank's at, so that the crank wasn't against the cabinet, or where the connection was, those hooks, I didn't want those gouging the cabinet. So I've protected everything that had a potential issue attached to it. And I've got this thing cranked down to where I don't think I can crank it anymore. Hopefully there's enough pressure on these blocks to seal that permanently, but we won't know until I've had it together for a long enough period of time to where I can loosen it up. If it pulls itself apart, then I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. But I'm hoping that these instructions and the way that I did it are going to work, and we will see. I will do a follow-up and put it all together in this video particularly, but at the very end I will show this again with the straps off and see if the seam has pulled itself back apart or if it in fact stays in place. Thanks for watching. Well, maybe that's a little early, because I'll be back with another ending piece to the video. I did use Gorilla Wood Glue. Let me see here. Parchment paper I had just in case I needed it. So again, thanks for watching Buckeye Pinball. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully it'll be another good one.